I'm finally back in my apartment, thank God. If you read my last community post, you know my brother got married last weekend and I had a cat sitter over the weekend, and right after I had left almost and she arrived, she texted me and asked me how to work the air conditioner, and we quickly discovered that it was broken. So at least she was able to be here all weekend roasting. I feel so bad. Luckily she was here to be with the kitties, to keep the doors open, fans going, windows open, and a breeze through to keep it cool enough for them. But in the little bit of time that she left and I came home, it got up to 80 degrees in here. So when I got here, I was like, this is not happening. So I scooped up the kitties and left, and I finally just got a new blower unit installed. So I'm finally back in my apartment after being at my parents' house, which, I mean, convenient that they live so close. It's just nice to be back in my own space. But that's not why we're here. So hello, it's McKay, and today I'm gonna be doing a boyfriend's dad recommendation video, because this is a trope I never knew I needed until I read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, and then I realized this is a fun trope. I love forbidden. I love taboo shit here. I feel like if you're here, you hopefully are into that too. If not, then I have other less taboo videos that I'm planning in the future and that I already have on my channel that you can check out there. But this one's gonna be a little more taboo, covering boyfriend's dad's recommendations. Fun time. Sorry, just in case if you can hear in the background, I do have my laundry going. So just in case if you can hear that, I'm hoping that you can't, but being behind on everything now this week, the air conditioner kind of threw my whole week out of whack. So I do have my laundry going, and it just has to be. So if you hear that, just ignore it for my sake, please. First one is kind of the most obvious, I feel like, but if you've seen it and you haven't read it yet, what are you doing? Get on it. And that is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I'm too lazy to get up to grab one of my 2 copies I have of this book. This was the first boyfriend's dad trope that I read, and the one that got me being like, this is something extra fun and special. So obviously these all follow the same trope. So this one follows Jordan and Pike, and Pike has a younger son. I think his name is Cole. Honestly, I don't even know, and I don't really care. So Jordan and Cole have to move in to Pike's house because they're both 19. Cole's a little financially irresponsible, and they're just in a bad place, so they have to move in so they can try to save up a little bit. And Cole and Pike have always had a really strained relationship and never a good relationship. So I think that's why also this trope works in this book, is because it's not like they've ever been super close father-son. So I think it doesn't make it as weird down the line. I truly think this is the book within this whole trope that this connection feels the most genuine to me. It genuinely feels like they are soulmates and they are meant for each other. It is a slow burn. Jordan has a really good work ethic and definitely tries to help Pike out. And she seems, even though she is 19, she definitely is more mature and in a different headspace than I think a lot of people her age, and definitely a different headspace than Cole. And Pike, oh, what to even say about Pike? Just connects with Jordan. Pike is just awesome. I love Pike. Genuinely, I think this couple is unmatched. If you haven't read this one yet, I do think that this is kind of the penultimate boyfriend's dad book in terms of plot wise. There is obviously spice in it. It's Penelope Douglas and I'm recommending it, so there's spice in it, but it definitely is more of a slow burn. But I think the payoff is even better. Also, sorry, there are random people outside of my house now, and that's weirding me out recording in front of them because they're looking at me. Even Dorian's who the hell are you? Yeah, this one's hot. It's a slow burn. It's everything that I love. The forbiddenness. Also, there is no cheating between Jordan and Pike. They never cheat together. So if that's something that bothers you, there's none of that in here. I'll just leave it at this, that this is a god tier book for me, and if you haven't read it yet, get on it. I had to pause because one of my friends FaceTimed me, and now Miss Aria's up from her nap, so now she wants to hang out. They're getting so big. Aria's already 4.75 pounds. I just took them in for their last kitten shots. So Aria's almost 5 pounds and Dorian's almost 6 pounds. And when I got them, she wasn't even 2 pounds. She was such a tiny little bean. You are my sole reason for living. I love you. I tell you guys, they have a lot of pressure on their little kitten shoulders because They are my sanity and happiness. And sanity is even questionable, but they are my happiness. Look at her little pretty eyes. Next up on the list is gonna be The Doctor by Nikki Sloane. So this one doesn't have the forced proximity of Birthday Girl. However, she is frequently over at her boyfriend's dad's house, swimming in their pool. And one day they have a bit of an interaction in the bathroom, and then something happens between, I think her name's Cassie. Sorry, I suck. I didn't look up any of these names beforehand. I only know Jordan and Pike just from memory. But I think her name's Cassie, and she has something happen with her boyfriend that then she goes over to Dr. Lowe, I think is his name, Dr. Lowe's house one night, and you know, they get into it a little bit. I will just say this one is a lot spicier than Birthday Girl. I would say this one has a lot more spice, and it is a little shorter. It definitely is not as much of a slow burn. If I remember correctly, stuff starts happening by like chapter 4 in their relationship. So this one I definitely didn't feel as much like tension with or as much angst with, but the steam level of this one is just fantastic. Dr. Lowe is hot as hell. Like, find me a Dr. Lowe in real life. You know, he's a doctor. So there's even, you know, a little doctor action. I just enjoyed the hell out of this one. It's just great, and there is some drama with the boyfriend, but I definitely think that the relationship between the boyfriend and the dad, like, it felt similar to Pike and Cole, where I was like, it didn't feel like they're destroying a super close father-son bond with this relationship. So it kind of just worked in all facets. And if you're looking for just like a hot, fun read, look no further. Next up is going to be Daddy's Angel by K.A. Knight. I hate the title. It's just like, can we just leave that out of the title, please? So once again, it follows this girl who's dating this guy, and there's some drama with the boyfriend where he doesn't like that she's a dancer, and he's becoming like a little more obsessive. Oh, I hate these little things on shirts. I should cut it out, but I never do. I say that every time I wear it. I'm like, I should cut that out, and then I never do. He's becoming a bit more obsessive and protective over her, and a little more like harassing towards her, so they do end up breaking up. And then his dad is immediately like swooping in and being like, my son's a piece of garbage and like, you should be with someone like me. So I will definitely say father-son relationship not really intact at all in this one. At least in the other ones they try, but in this one truly the dude like does not give a fuck, which I think is why this one to me it doesn't necessarily like feel as realistic, but also like, am I reading this for realism? No. There is definitely more intense drama with the boyfriend, I will just say, in this one than in the previous ones. When the reveal happens and stuff, there definitely is way more drama with the boyfriend in this one than in the other two that I talked about. And the resolution is definitely different than the other two. I will say I think this is probably the spiciest. It's like a full-length book, but I'm not exaggerating when I say like every other chapter, pretty much. Like every other chapter. And I will say, some of it got a little repetitive, where towards the end I was just like, you know, there's nothing new, there's nothing different in this. However, if you are looking for spice, this delivers hands down. And I will just say it is more dramatic. There is some like amped up action, so just know that. Okay, and then these last two are both by Katie Robert, but one of them is under her pen name, and that is Forbidden Fling by Kat Taylor. So this is Katie Robert just writing under this pen name for just more like erotic standalone stories. Like, I think she says lots of happy endings but no happily ever afters. So this one is a really short novella. I think it's only like 4 chapters. So this one follows this girl. She goes on this trip with her boyfriend right after graduating college, before they're going to be living in separate cities. So she kind of just wants this time to connect with her boyfriend, and he decides to invite like his frat brothers and his dad along with, and then like does activities that she doesn't want to do. So she's not really getting any of that connection with him, and she's just kind of losing that connection that they had all along. There's just kind of like no spark left with him, but she is feeling some sparks with his dad. and they start hooking up, and this one's different because they are in the same house, like as they're hooking up. So there definitely is like that element of being like, oh, are we gonna get caught? Like, we can't do this. And I will say this one does have cheating in it. Like, she's still dating her boyfriend and hooking up with his dad. This is just meant to be like a fun summer fling book. So definitely don't go into it expecting anything too serious or too like plot driven. It really is just like about this girl hooking up with her boyfriend's dad in the same house. It's a fun time. It's a short, quick read, and definitely if you haven't checked it out yet, the spice delivers. I mean, it's Katie Robert, what do you expect? And then the last one on this list, a popular favorite of a lot of people, Your Dad Will Do by Katie Robert. So like this one and Birthday Girl kind of sit at two ends of the spectrum, and The Doctor I think is kind of like smack dab in the middle with a lot of spice, typical to Your Dad Will Do, but a lot more like plot and relationship building like Birthday Girl. So this one is on kind of the extreme of just being like, this is a lot of spice and we're here for it. So this follows this woman who discovers that her fiance is cheating on her, so she decides to get revenge by going to go sleep with his dad. And they begin a weekend together, and it kind of goes from there. Again, there's no cheating in this one between her and the father because her and the son were already broken up with. This one is definitely just like, this spice delivers. Like, she goes over with the intention of sleeping with his dad. So you know the motive going into this. There's not really like, at the beginning, she's not looking at this like for a relationship. She's looking for a fun time. This has just some A+ spice in it. Plot heavy, no, but I'd say it definitely has more plot than Forbidden Fling does. Like, Forbidden Fling pretty much is just this like one weekend scenario, where this definitely does have a bit more like background information incorporated in between the two characters. So I do like more of a plot with my spice. You know, I'm not just in it all the time for the spice, and I think that's why Daddy's Angels are really just like spice heavy. But this one is spice heavy, but still has some plot incorporated into it. So those are all of the boyfriend's dad's recommendations that I have. That's all of the ones that I've read so far. If you have any others, please leave them in the comments below for me and for other people. It's not necessarily a trope that I like seek out necessarily. Like, when I'm looking for a new book, I'm not like, oh, I really want a boyfriend's dad romance, but it's one that whenever I come across it, I'm like, I'm gonna read that. Like, that's going on my TBR. So definitely drop it below. I just, you know, I love the forbidden and I love the taboo, and that's like this incorporated. And I do love an age gap, and these obviously tend to have those. So this trope kind of encompasses a lot of things that I love. That's it for this recommendation video though. If you do have any other recommendation videos you want to see from me, please let me know. I do already have a Touch Her and I'll Kill You, Brother's Best Friend, and Rockstar lists going. So I definitely have those planned to come up in the future, but I do just want to like spread them out a little bit. I think I'm going to keep sticking to the one video a week format. I feel like that works for me and just my schedule. Thank you so much for watching. I seriously appreciate the growth and the love that this channel has been getting. So yeah, I will see you when I see ya.